Evanston, Illinois, hoping to continue our conference win streak.
10 conference matchup between the Michigan State Spartans and the Northwestern Wildcats. We are in Evanston, Illinois for ESPN Plus Big Ten basketball. Go 3-2 in the Big Ten. Northwestern entertaining Michigan State. Michigan State needs a win to get back into first place. And welcome everybody, along with Sean Morris. I'm Tom Hamilton. Glad you could join us. Yes, it's only week 3 of the Big Ten campaign, so why does this become a key game already?
It's a big game for Michigan State, Tom, because they want to get their first road win of the season, and for Northwestern, they want to regain some of the momentum they had after a big win here against Illinois a week ago. Well, and Sean, 2 guys to keep an eye on tonight: Paul Davis of Michigan State and Mohammed Hashad from Northwestern.
Well, you know, at the beginning of the year, he started out struggling a little bit, but since the Duke game, he's been a lot more consistent. Since the first of the year, he's really starting to put his game together and been practicing really well and playing well.
Mohammed's been playing very well the last few games. He was instrumental in our Iowa and Illinois games. He's always been a good defender. Now he's making his long-range shot. And so if he can continue to do that, you know, I like our chances in the next 10 games or so.
It was just a week ago tonight that Northwestern shocked Illinois in this building. Meanwhile, Michigan State looking for its first road win of the season. Right now, our Pontiac keys to the game. What do you think, Sean?
Well, first for Michigan State, Tom, they have to run the floor, use that depth that they have, go inside to Paul Davis, and defend the 3. Northwestern shoots the 3 very well, averages about 8 made per ball game. Then for Northwestern, they have to get back in transition defense because Michigan State's really going to look to run. They have to limit the turnovers and the transition opportunities that creates for Michigan State. And then they have to be very patient on offense, use all that shot clock, make Michigan State play 35 seconds of defense every time down the floor.
Well, another key tonight, Sean, for Northwestern is they have Vedran Vakusic back in the lineup. He injured his knee a week ago, but Vakusic is playing tonight with a brace on the left knee. We'll see how effective Vakusic can be as you get a look there at the Croatian. Tonight's officials: Dan Chrisman, John Hughes, and Ted Valentine. Northwestern on the alley-oop, defended beautifully by the Wildcats.
And that was something we saw Michigan State working on in the shoot-around. Good job by Northwestern in getting back in transition, taking it away.
So Northwestern, they'll try to milk that shot clock. Michigan State, they want to play a 94-foot game. Kind of the tortoise versus the hare here tonight in Evanston. Jatim Young, triple team, taken away momentarily, and it is Michigan State's basketball. As we check out tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Prairie Farms. As we mentioned, Vakusic back starting for Northwestern. For Michigan State, it really doesn't matter who starts. This is a club that is 10 players deep. And that's one of them, Chris Hill, the best three-point shooter in the Big Ten. Knocks one down.
48% from behind the arc for the entire year, leading the conference in that category. Also makes three-pointers per game, Tom.
Sean, there are a lot of guys that don't shoot 48% inside the arc. Some guys don't even shoot that at the foul line. That's how good Chris Hill is. And a steal right there by the freshman, Shannon Brown. Look at him explode and draw the foul. It'll go against Ivan Tolic. And, of course, Shannon Brown, Sean, you know he is jacked up tonight. The freshman back here in his hometown.
Local product here out of the Proviso area. Outstanding high school player, and I've been very impressed with the way he's adjusted his game to fit into a team concept. Averaged a lot of points in high school, hasn't forced anything on the collegiate level.
That's Paul Davis, and Michigan State with a 5-0 lead. Something Bill Carmody was very worried about today, the way the Wildcats would start against Michigan State. A Spartan team that seems to be regaining some of that confidence that maybe they lost after that brutal non-conference schedule. Hashad, who's played well lately, misses. Davis the rebound. Open look Hill. 8-0 Spartans.
And even when Michigan State, Tom, doesn't get the layup in transition, they do an outstanding job of running that secondary break. Good job by Hill of running the wing, is rewarded with the spot-up three off the pass from Anderson.
Boy, right now, Bill Carmody's worst fears being realized. Northwestern down 8-zip. We have played close to 2.5 minutes. This is Hashad, open look Tolich. Airballed the three.
I think needed a fair catch signal.
Wow. There's a good look at Bill Carmody, the Northwestern head coach in his 4th year in Evanston after building a juggernaut at Princeton. 8-0 Spartans.
Northwestern showing a little bit of zone here, Tom, trying to give Michigan State a different look.
Skip pass. This is Anderson. And a whistle underneath, jockeying for position. This will be a Michigan State foul.
They got Davis pushing off.
There's a good look at the sophomore out of the Detroit area. Paul Davis, one of the best big men right now in the Big Ten.
And he's really coming off a strong performance against Michigan, Tom. Went to the foul line 11 times, converted 9 of them.
That's one thing Northwestern doesn't do much, and that is shoot free throws, because primarily a perimeter team.
Don't really have an inside post presence. If they do go to the foul line, it's off the dribble penetration.
Michigan State has pitched a shutout for over 3 minutes. Bakusic to Young. Strong. Good block out. Davis, who last touched it. Off Bakusic. Michigan State basketball. And Tom Izzo has a club right now that certainly is not taking Northwestern for granted.
And playing with a great deal of confidence. 2 very solid performances as you take a look at the early shooting. Very good performances at home against Penn State and Michigan after a tough road loss at Wisconsin to start the Big Ten slate.
Tolbert finds the open man. Shannon Brown missed it. Davis the long rebound. Wide open look for Hill. His 3rd triple.
And that is something that Northwestern has struggled with all year, Tom. They're last in the conference in rebounding. That second chance opportunity allows Hill to square up, knock down yet another 3.
11-0 Michigan State. 4 minutes into it. This is Bakusic. Boy, does Northwestern need a basket desperately. Parker for 3. He got a big one. Open look, Hill. Boy, that was halfway down.
Boy, Northwestern really dodged the bullet.
Parker, nice save by T.J. Parker.
And right now, Tom, it's very important for Northwestern not to get out of their comfort zone. Run a little bit of time here. No need to hurry.
And a bump out front against Hill, his first. Well, don't forget, it was a week ago, Illinois led Northwestern by 12 in this building. Right now, it's all Michigan State.
They've done a very good job of finding him, not only in the half-court set as they do here with the skip pass over the top, but also in transition. Nice job by Allen Anderson on the secondary break. And then Paul Davis, a second chance opportunity. Chris Hill lines up 3 of 3 from behind the arc, continuing the hot shooting from three-point land. 55% from behind the arc his last 3 ball games.
Wow. Michigan State is the best shooting team in the Big Ten, either beyond the arc or inside it. In fact, Tom Izzo was saying again today, this has the potential to be the best offensive club he has had in 9 years at Michigan State. And that is saying something.
When you're talking about guys, as you take a look at the field goal percentage shooting, when you talk about guys like Morris Peterson and Mateen Cleese, that's saying a mouthful right there.
1 and done for the Wildcats. This is Hill. He has another open look.
He's showing a lot of versatility to his ball game. Because he's knocked down those 3s, Northwestern has to close out on him. They don't do it under control, and he gets the dribble penetration, knocks down that intermediate jump shot.
Chris Hill has 11 points already. 13-3 Michigan State. We've played 5.5 minutes from Welsh Ryan. where it's become a very quiet arena. Open look for Kusic. Short on it, and you wonder, Sean, how effective will he be with that heavy leg brace on the left knee?
Didn't get a lot of lift on that jump shot right there.
Wildcats have struggled defensively. And tonight, no different. Traveling called on Andrews.
And Andrews gave Michigan State quality minutes off the bench against Michigan. Some big rebounds, came in, played a good solid 13 minutes for them. What a luxury for Tom Izzo to be able to bring him in and give Paul Davis a rest.
2 apiece in the mistake department. Northwestern normally doesn't make many turnovers. Only 9 total in their last couple of ball games. But already 2 tonight, and the way they're shooting, they can't afford a lot of them. Oh, blocking foul. Andreas thought maybe he had drawn the charge.
And Northwestern really dodged a bullet there, Tom, because T.J. Parker went baseline, left his feet, and made it a judgment call for the official to make. Watch him coming right here. He leaves his feet. Boy, that looks like a pretty good job by Andrews. He's sliding over there.
Good look at Jason Andreas. Physical inside presence for Michigan State. 13-3, Michigan State leads. Northwestern with the ball. 13:20 left first half.
And Tom, one thing that Michigan State has done is they switched defenses right here. The last 2 games, done a fantastic job of taking the leading scorer of the opponent out of the ball game. They did it to Yagla. Good look right there to Doncic. They took Yagla out of the ball game. They took Bernard Robinson Jr. out of the ball game, and they're really focusing their attention on Jatim Young here this evening.
13-5, Michigan State. Northwestern giving them a half-court trap look. Right now, Michigan State kind of out of sync with this new look. Almost a steal. Nice deflection by Vukosic. 10 on the shot clock.
Tom, the last basket by Northwestern, one of the few times they've actually made Michigan State work. The Spartans fall asleep. Doncic finds the hole. Vukosic delivers it to him.
Well, and Bill Carmody of Northwestern said today, if Northwestern runs its offense, they'll get good shots. Out front, holding foul, Jatim Young, his first. What a career for Jatim Young.
For fans that haven't had a chance to watch Jatim Young, regardless of the stats he puts up, Tom, watch how hard he plays the ball game. He's just a pleasure to watch.
He is what college basketball is supposed to be about. I don't know what that was, but it's Northwestern's ball. Look at Parker explode, but pulls it back out. Didn't have the layup.
A smart move not to challenge the 3 Spartans that were back in transition.
See if Northwestern can keep chipping away. This is Doncic against Andreas. Another foul on Jason Andreas. Boy, he's picking them up in a hurry.
And last week, Davor Doncic had a career game, 22 points. A lot of those coming in the second half with Vedran Vukosic had to go to the bench with that knee injury. He really played with a lot of confidence on the offensive end. They'll need him to step up tonight.
13-5, Michigan State leads. Just over 12 minutes left first half. Nice look inside. And Vukosic got fouled on the way up. Good entry pass in the inbounds.
And that's something you rarely see Michigan State give up, Tom. It's something off the inbounds play. Vukosic able to snake in there and draw the contact.
And now you'll get a good look at Vedran Vukosic and that brace on the left knee. He injured it a week ago against Illinois, missed much of that game. And there's a good look by our camera crew as you look at Vukosic, who did not play at all against Indiana Saturday and was doubtful for tonight. And here he is starting, and he's gone 8 minutes so far.
And if you look up, once he gets ready to shoot this next foul shot, look at his right arm up by the shoulder, and you'll see the surgical scar which kept him out of all last year.
Yeah.
So he's top to bottom. I think one more, he gets a free surgery.
He did not come from Croatia to learn about surgical procedures. But the good effort there, he almost had himself a putback. Michigan State's basketball. I don't think, though, Sean, and looking at him so far, he looks comfortable with his shot, does he?
No, he doesn't, and you can tell that he's kind of favoring that brace right now. It's a little uncomfortable and cumbersome for him, but they have to have him out there.
Yeah.
Because he's the third best three-point shooter in the conference, and that's where Northwestern, that's where their bread and butter lies.
This is Andreas back out front to Ager. Anderson had it stripped away by Hashad. He's got Young low left. What a fake. What a score.
I thought he dribble penetrated too far. I thought he should have kicked it ahead to Jatim Young there.
Michigan State trying to get this up tempo. A steal by Jatim Young.
Well, Tom, we talked about the importance of Northwestern taking care of the basketball, and being lackadaisical with the basketball by Michigan State's squad right now has allowed Northwestern to climb back into it. Back-to-back turnovers have led to possibly 5 points in transition if Jatim Young's able to convert this free throw.
And you saw the livid expression on the face of Tom Izzo. Northwestern was down 11-zip. It's now 13-10 as you saw Young's numbers. It's a 2-point game. The Wildcats have gotten the home court advantage back. And they've gotten their home crowd fans back into it. Michigan State got a bit careless. Jatim Young with a 3-point play. It's about that schedule.
Yeah, you know, I think I would have stretched it out a little bit more and maybe put some games that are maybe more winnable in between. We had a stretch where we had 3 or 4 in a row, and I think our players got a little down, and I caused the damage, so I'm hopefully can help the solution now in getting us back on track.
Well, Tom Izzo's Spartans lost to Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Syracuse, Oklahoma, UCLA, and then Wisconsin in the Big Ten Open.
The only team they didn't play was the Lakers, and that's because they couldn't find an open date.
Well, it's one of those where for Tom Izzo, as he said, no matter what you do, somebody's unhappy. You schedule too tough, they say, what are you thinking? If you have a bunch of cupcakes, then everybody's unhappy because the games aren't fun to watch.
I'll tell you what, if I'm a coach nowadays, I'm going cupcake and let people complain about being 11-1.
That's the thing, though, you like about Tom Izzo. As Ager hits a triple from the corner. The thing about Tom Izzo and the Michigan State program, they don't back down from any challenge, and that's what you wish you'd see more of.
Absolutely. And they should be rewarded rather than chastised for it.
Oh, backdoor cut. What a catch by Jatim Young. And Michigan State able to recover. And Rashid Johnson got pushed. If that's on Young, it's his second.
I think they might have gotten his shot.
You're right. Hashad picks it up. 16-11. Michigan State, 5-point lead. Just about halfway through the first 20 minutes from Evanston.
And Tom, depth is going to really be a story in this ball game. Against Michigan in the first half, Michigan State got 10 guys into the ball game. Northwestern doesn't dress 10.
Wow, look at that shooting by Maurice Ager. He's hit a pair of triples, and Tom Izzo said Ager is about to explode and have one of those takeover-type games. What a move inside by T.J. Parker.
Nice job by T.J. Parker. Poor job of rotating defensively by Michigan State. And Ager, to continue your point, Tom, coming off a career-high 8 rebounds against Michigan.
Michigan State has so many weapons. Double-teamed and fouled was Andreas. Well, following our game, as you see T.J. Parker slice and dice inside. T.J. Parker.
Nice job, but once again, poor rotation defensively by Michigan State. You won't see those kind of breakdowns often from the Spartans.
And you don't see a lot of penetration at times from Northwestern. That could be critical. Open look Hill. He finally missed one. Strong rebound by Duancic. 6-point Michigan State lead. Parker down low to Young. Duancic, can he save it? He did. To his fellow Croatian, Vukusic. Talk about an international flavor. 5 foreign players for Northwestern. 3 from Croatia, 1 from Morocco, and 1 from Paris.
One more and they get a seat on the Security Council.
That's one of them. A shot with a miss. He's from Morocco. Paris native Parker to Hashad. The French connection that time did not connect. Ahead to Ager. He missed the layup. And it's Northwestern basketball. Well, following our game, more from ESPN Plus. Big Ten basketball comes your way. Another key matchup. It'll be from Madison. The Michigan Wolverines, all of a sudden they're 1-2. And the Wisconsin Badgers right now might be the Big Ten's best team. That's coming up after this one.
And they have a great home court advantage up there in the Kohl Center, Tom.
Boy, don't they? That along with the Breslin Center, the 2 best right now in the Big Ten. Oh, what a play by Torger.
Great hustle.
Wow. Traveling on the freshman Shannon Brown.
And Tom, you were talking about Michigan State and all the great qualities. There's an example right there by Kelvin Torbert. This kid was a high school All-American. Now, a lot of places, you're going to get playing time just on those accolades. If you do not play hard for Michigan State and defend, Tom Izzo has the greatest weapon at his disposal, and that's playing time.
Yep.
And it hasn't mattered if it's been Jason Richardson, Kelvin Torbert, or anyone else. They play a complete game or they don't play at all.
Duwancic on the drive drew the foul. And, you know, it took Tom Izzo a couple of years after he replaced Judd Heathcote in East Lansing to get his players and to get his impression on this program. But after 2 so-so years, 6 straight trips to the NCAA tournament, averaging 26 wins per season the last 6 years. And we all know about the Final Fours, 3 in a row, and the championship with Mo Peterson and Mateen Cleaves. And right now, Sean, I think you can say when you talk about the elites, you say Duke, Kansas, Kentucky. You also include Michigan State, don't you?
Absolutely. And the thing that you have to admire about it, as you mentioned, those other programs, as Duwancic knocks down both free throws, is that the consistency.
Yep.
There's not up and down. And the reason there's the consistency in that performance is because the things they can control, rebounding and defense, year in and year out, are there.
Right now, Northwestern has stepped it up. Johnson, nice pass. And the freshman Namick lays it in. Drew Namick after a great pass.
Northwestern very active defensively, but good patience by Michigan State, able to break it down off the dribble, and the good leave at the rim.
21-15 Spartans. Duwancic with a left hand. And the freshman, Drew Namick, with another rebound. Open look, Brown. Boy, is he explosive.
How much ground did he cover right there?
Well, Shannon Brown, the freshman, was considered the top shooting guard coming out of high school in the country. Duwancic with the left hand.
He's stepping up. He played exactly the same way a week ago. He can use both the right or the left hand as he gets to the rim. He's getting good production from him right now, and they need it because Vukuzic really struggling out there.
Open look. Ager with his 3rd triple. So both Maurice Ager and Chris Hill have 3 threes apiece. 26-17 Michigan State. 6:45 left first half. On the drive, Young. Parker. Got it. T.J. Parker counters.
Nice patience right there by Northwestern. Good dribble penetration. The second time Parker scored off the dribble.
Why not? Maurice Ager has that explosion Tom Izzo said could come at any time.
And 3 of them have come from almost the exact same spot. If you're Northwestern, pretend he's Waldo and find him.
How about Michigan State? 7 for 10 in 3-point shooting. Open 3, Parker. Oh, my. This has turned into quite a game of horse. 29-22 Michigan State. This is Brown, 17 on the shot clock. I think everybody trying to catch their breath. Anderson. The miss. Look at Michigan State pound the glass. Ager. What a job off the bench for Ager. He has 14 points off the bench. Chris Hill scored 11 of Michigan State's first 13. Parker passes it up. Vukosic. 9-point Michigan State lead. Parker can't get the baseline. Doncic penetrates. Kick out. Whose ball? We've got a timeout. Both clubs right now gasping for their breath. Maurice Ager off the bench with 4 triples and 14 points. The Michigan State depth coming through. 31-22, and ESPN Plus brings you a Saturday doubleheader. It'll be Penn State and Michigan, followed by the Wisconsin Badgers and the Fighting Illini. Check your local listings for Saturday's twin bill. Well, Sean, I don't know how Michigan State could play any better offensively.
Well, they've been very, very efficient and effective. 7 of 10 from behind the arc. They came in leading the conference in three-point shooting at 37% as a team, but I tell you what, this is going to do nothing but help that average.
Wow. For the game, Michigan State shooting 67%. This is Scott, the freshman. The shot clock violation almost did just beat the shot clock. Shot was short by Young. Paul Davis. Good ball movement. Ager. Oh my. This is just one of those nights where Mo Ager can do no wrong.
And what unselfish play by Chris Hill, Tom. He had a 3 of his own at the top of the key. The extra pass allowed Ager to drain yet another 3 from the corner.
They talk about finding the guy with a hot hand. Michigan State has done that first with Chris Hill, now with Mo Ager. And those two have combined for 28 points. Biggest lead for Michigan State, 34-22. Doncic in traffic, lost it. Into the front court, Hill to Davis. Foul down low, and that time they were able to get it inside.
We talked about the execution by Michigan State in their secondary break. A lot of those have led to threes, but here, a very good job by Chris Hill of finding Paul Davis and pounding the ball inside. Something we thought, quite frankly, the Michigan State would do more of, but why when you're knocking down threes at the rate they are right now?
Well, Michigan State, one of those teams, and there aren't a lot anymore in the college game, Sean, that have a true inside-outside game. They've got a couple of bona fide big men, and this is one of the best in Paul Davis.
And when Davis can get it going inside in the half-court set, what you'll see is those threes will become available as a result of going inside out. When the inside guy is scoring, it forces the double down or the double team, and he's done a very good job so far in his early part of his career of finding where the double team is coming from and finding the spotting up three-point shooter. Back door.
Parker couldn't save it. Michigan State on another Northwestern turnover. So the Spartans jumped out 11-0, and they've reclaimed all the momentum.
That's from the right corner, but he has made a living from that left-hand corner, and his teammates have done a fantastic job of finding him, not only in transition, but he's also gotten into the act on the offensive glass as well.
Mo Ager missed 6 games this year with a stress fracture. So he's been overcoming the injury bug, and his shot hasn't been what it was a year ago. Tonight, you'd never know it. 6 of 7 for Mo Ager, and 5 for 5 from beyond the arc.
And Tom, Northwestern trying to get bodies on people has gone straight man-to-man in this situation.
This is Shannon Brown, the freshman. Chris Hill out front. Hill scored 11 points right at the outset and hasn't scored since then. Open look for Brown. Rims it. Strong rebound that time by Hashad, and was fouled by Anderson. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll continue the week's State of theme with comments from tonight's coaches on the state of the Big Ten Conference. We'll learn about science impacting economics, and I'll also have a look at the highlights as well as the numbers from the first half. 1-1 now for Northwestern, and Mohammed Hashad, who has played so well over the last 3 games, averaging 15 a game over the last 3. As you look at his season numbers, a quiet first half, just 2 points.
And over that 3-game span, also shooting 64% from the floor and 50% from the arc.
Now Northwestern doesn't get to the line often, so they need to cash in when they do. Bill Carmody's club, they were down 11-0, then made it a 2-point game at 13-11. And since it was 13-11, Michigan State has outscored Northwestern 22-12. And Northwestern watches Michigan State just keep reloading with fresh bodies. On the miss, Torbert runs it down in the corner, and then he stepped out of bounds.
And once again, that won't show up in the scorebook, but that turnover doesn't happen if Jatim Young does not give up on that play. If he gives up on the play, Torbert's able to go after that basketball without being hurried, probably doesn't step on that sideline.
This is Young with the basketball. He's been held to 3 points, but there you see Northwestern execute.
Showing his versatility and a good post feed, Tom. Led the offensive player away from the defense and toward the rim.
10-point game. Michigan State with the ball in the lead. 2:36 left in the half. Ager feeling it. He missed. Strong rebound by Vukosic. Young on the drive, and he drew the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Well, we talked about Northwestern struggling in the half-court set, but here's a good job. Nice job by Vukosic. Leads the offensive player Jatim Young with the pass away from the defense and toward the rim. When Michigan State looks at that tape, the one thing they're going to not like about that particular sequence, poor on-the-ball pressure, allowing Vukosic the easy look inside.
Jatim Young, a stellar 4-year career here at Northwestern, misses the front end. And just into the ball game, Bograkis with a rebound. You're looking, too, at a Michigan State team, Tom Izzo's club, starting to really rebound now. They're usually one of the best in the country when it comes to rebounding. This is Hill penetrating. The floater goes.
What versatility to his game. We've obviously seen his ability to knock down the 3, but here comes under control. A lot of people would have drawn a charge in that situation, Tom. Comes under control, hits that little runner.
Well, Hill and Ager have 30 points combined. They themselves have outscored the Wildcats. Oh, great pass inside, but Doncic did not finish.
You're not going to get an easier shot, Tom. You have to convert that.
Traveling out front by Kelvin Torbert. How many teams have a Kelvin Torbert? Arguably the best player in high school basketball when he came out of Flint. 11 points a game this year for Tom Izzo. He, tonight, has not scored, but it doesn't matter. That's how deep this club is.
And that's how much of a team they are as well, Tom, because a lot of guys might have gotten frustrated and, hey, I'm not getting enough shots and leave. He's really bought into the team concept.
Vukosic can't connect from outside, and then Jatim Young picks up his second personal. 6th on Northwestern. Good look there at Jatim Young. Indiana coach Mike Davis said Jatim Young should be all-conference first or second team. Tom Izzo calls Jatim Young one of his favorite players in all of college basketball.
Nothing flashy, but I tell you what, the kid shows up not only to play every night, but practice every day.
Michigan State calls a timeout. Yeah, that's a good point. In this day and age, coaches talk about getting kids to play hard in games, much less practice.
Particularly when you turn on the TV and you see Allen Iverson saying, practice. We're talking about practice.
Good look there at Jatim Young. 1:08 to play. Michigan State on top, 12. Michigan State, we talked about how rugged the schedule has been to this point. this tonight is the first of 3 straight Big Ten road games, so it doesn't get any easier in conference play.
It certainly doesn't, but the difference between this tough sequence and what they had in the non-conference season, in my opinion, is that those games came in such close sequence that they didn't really have a chance to improve on their game. They've spent so much time having to focus on the upcoming opponent that they couldn't really adjust and talk about some of the things that were going wrong with their team, because you had games coming one right after the other, and you had to scout and prepare for those. Once you get in the Big Ten, you've had a chance to see these teams a few times, and you can maybe make some more adjustments on your own squad rather than simply preparing all the time for the upcoming opponent.
Well, and also the Big Ten announced this past week this will be the end of anybody playing 3 straight road games in conference play this season, as another triple from Maurice Ager. He is 6 of 6 behind the arc. 20 points, a career high for Maurice Ager. Did Tom Izzo have a feeling or what when he said Ager was ready for a breakout game? Bakusic on the drive. Offensive foul on Bakusic, his first.
Offensive foul on Northwestern's number 11,
Is he the same player that you saw before the knee injury?
No, he's still struggling a little bit, and considering how awkwardly he went down a week ago, quite frankly, I'm very surprised he's able to play at all. He's a quick healer. I think right now it's not necessarily the knee. That brace right now is foreign to him, and it's kind of cumbersome.
Ager? Why not?
How about the hang time?
Maurice Ager with 22. Parker, boy, that was a quick shot. A shot for 3, beat the buzzer. Well, I'll tell you what, Maurice Ager will be tonight's halftime highlights. Tom Izzo saying, son, put that elbow in ice. 22 points in the first half off the bench, Sean. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Not quite like that, particularly 6 of 3 from the line.
It's Michigan State by